Christy Mattoon here with Rewire. Today we are talking about emotions, anger and sadness and happiness, right? All the emotions. And first I want to thank you first of all for being here. Subscribe if you haven't already. I always greatly appreciate that. It helps with my standings. And please share my videos. That also is a great help when people do that. And so what we're talking about today is emotions and your emotional home. Your emotional home is basically what you live in and day out. It's a range of emotions that you go through every time something happens. It's the range of emotions you allow yourself to go through. And sometimes we don't realize that that's what we're doing, is we're allowing something to affect us that's causing this range of emotions. When you start to realize that, now you've become aware, and now you can start to change. Now, a lot of people come to me because they say, I think I have a subconscious issue, and they want to work on their subconscious. Well, here's the deal about the subconscious. If you're aware of it, it's no longer subconscious. And that's just interesting. And to me, it's kind of funny at this point. And the reason why is because we still call it subconscious, right? There's a program running, whether it's conscious or subconscious. You've got a program playing. If you're aware of it, it's a little bit easier to change than if it's truly subconscious. If it's truly subconscious, you're just not even aware of it, right? If you're conscious of it, if you're aware of it, it's not subconscious, even though it could be part of the programming. Does that make sense? If it's conscious, if you're conscious of this issue, you actually have a choice to make. You actually have an ability to choose whether to keep participating in it or not, right? So the idea of it being subconscious is when you're not aware of it. You might have an issue and you're like, something this, keeps causing this and it's happening, but you're not aware of why, even though you're aware of the issue it's causing. Does that make sense? If it's conscious and it's programmed, you're aware of it and it's not subconscious. You're aware of it. You know what's going on. You know why it's happening, and you continue to let it happen. We have a programming issue, not a subconscious issue. Does that make sense? I hope this helps a little bit. So the emotional home that you live in, are you an angry person? Are you a sad person? Are you a happy person? Are you a fearful person? I actually know a person that says she was born fearful. She's been fearful every day of her life. And just by stating that, she's causing the reoccurrence of fear in her own system. Does that make sense, right? Just because you're calling it out, right? And then she continues to participate in it. It's not subconscious. She says it's a subconscious issue. It's totally conscious. She's very aware of it. And she can even tell you when it's going to happen. And then she allows herself to participate. That's a choice. You've just made a very conscious choice to participate in this thing that you're having an issue with. Does that make sense? So, becoming aware and becoming more aware, you can take things that are subconscious and bring them to a conscious level. Now, it still could be a matter of programming. I've got this program running that keeps telling me I need to do this, and I get a hit of chemicals and I feel a certain way, and then I go do the thing, right? That's a programming issue, not necessarily subconscious. So you live in this home of emotions that give you a way to feel, and it gives you a perspective about life. Now, if you don't like it and you're just aware of the emotional content, you can change the value of emotions very easily and make a conscious decision, regardless of what's going on subconsciously, to do your life different, to treat yourself different, to act different and respond different to circumstances. You have to become aware, and very aware sometimes, in order to get yourself to do this, but it's very doable. And it's interesting to me, very interesting to me, how many people think it's too hard. The work itself is too hard to do, but there's a lot of mysticism and there's a lot of weirdness around it. And if you are a Christian, sometimes this can be a huge issue. I hear this a lot from religious people, and I'm not saying religious in a bad way. I still wear my cross and my star. What I'm saying is they think God should change it for them. They want God to swoop in, or their angels to swoop in and change it all for them. And they will stand there screaming at God to change this for me. I'm ready for it to change. I'm open and willing to change. But they're not ready or willing to take the steps to do it themselves, which I find interesting. I'm like, you could have had this done years ago if you'd have just done it yourself. And it's not that God doesn't want to do it for you. He gave you the ability to do it yourself. And that's where I'm like, come on now. Come on. This is the idea of the guy on the cliff, right? And I don't know exactly how the story goes, but he's standing there screaming at God to save him. And a boat comes by and he looks at the guy in the boat and says, no thanks, I'm yelling at God to save me, or whatever, however the story goes. And then it happens again. It's a different, a better boat, like a yacht or something, comes by, and he stands up there, no, God's going to save me. And then a helicopter comes by and the guy's still hanging out on a cliff. And in my head, the story goes, he gets zapped by lightning and God's like, I'm really tired of this. Like, I sent 3 things and you didn't want to get in. Like, come on. And I told you how to do it. I told you this is the way this works. And you refuse to participate. And so your emotional home, I think, is that same kind of idea. We know about these negative emotions. We know if you keep fight and flight locked in your system, if you keep fear locked in your system, it's going to keep representing itself because it's what you know. And you live your present moment based on your past because of these emotions locked inside your body. And we think we have to go through and like excavate them and pull them out. And you have to go do the dark night of the soul thing. And you have to fall face first into this pain. And you don't. You really don't. You can decide to feel a different way. And I can give you little techniques that work very easily because it's the way your physiology is set up. And when you use these techniques, it's a fast, easy entry into the subconscious or into this space of the mind where it's just more open to ideas. We can get you into a high alpha or a gamma or theta or gamma state pretty easily. And you can sit there with this different level of feeling and start to program your mind and your physiology, your whole body in such a way that you just respond different to even yourself. It's a matter of emotion. It's about how you think about yourself and what you can and can't do. The next video I am going to make is on beliefs and what I think about beliefs, how I think this should be handled. Agree with me, don't agree with me, but like this video. I'm glad you're here. I really am. And I would love to hear your comments. What do you think? What do you think? Are you stuck in an emotional home and in a value of emotions that keep running you in circles? Do you have some kind of thing that you're doing on a daily basis? And I'm telling you, this has to be a practice. I say this all the time. You have to practice. And whatever you are practicing is causing whatever effect you're seeing. Just does, right? We're practicing something, whether you want to call it a practice or not. So next video is going to be on beliefs. What do I think about beliefs? Blessings and peace to you. I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some ground. Feel something different. Feel something different. Feel something higher level than what you're feeling right now, even if you're feeling great right now. Make the great bigger. Find the feeling in your heart. It will expand and grow tremendously, tremendously. I bless you in this. Thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon.